So I told you guys that it was pretty much new release month. I don't understand why they're releasing so many designer fragrances so early. And not only that, we just got word of like 3 or 4 more designer fragrances that are coming out. And I just got contacted by Azzaro, so I think I'm getting Forever Wanted Elixir. Who the hell knows? But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we are doing my first impressions on a decant that I just got in. I told you I was not getting this bottle because of the name. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Flower. I don't like florals very much. I mean, I can deal with them, but I had to be cautious with this. So I got a decant of it from scentrush.us. With that said, Le Beau Flower, what's it all about? We're going to figure that out now. Without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back at you with another first impression of a brand new release here in 2025. A lot of people here are pretty much excited about these. Jean Paul Gaultier is like the hype train right now. It's like more popular than the Azzaros, Bleu de Chanel's, Aqua de Joe's. I mean, pretty much Jean Paul Gaultier is going nuts. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see why. I still think that like Le Male Le Parfum and the original Le Beau are still the best ones in the line. I still think that the best fresh fragrance by Jean Paul Gaultier is Le Male Andre Edition. Like, I don't see why so many people are hyping up all these newer ones. Like the Le Male Elixir last year, so many people were hyping that up. It's legit just like lavender and heavy tonka. It's so strong, but it's super simplistic. I don't get it. I honestly don't. I don't know why. And that Scandal or Le Beau Paradise Garden, I didn't find anything special about it. I thought it smelled good. I think they all smell good. I just don't see why they're so hyped lately. I just don't. Like, they're out of stock almost everywhere. Anyway, before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, comment below. Let me know if you've tried this out. Again, you can get it from scentrush.us. Both the bottle you can get, which is about $15. Use the code DUDE5, which I'm not affiliate. They just gave me a code. It's DOUD5. You get 5% off. It's about $12 less than retail. Or you can get a decant for like $9.99. But they sent me this. It's a 2 or 3 milliliter decant of Le Beau flower. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Also hit that like button. Okay. I don't know why I always do that. I spray it and go. Well, that's familiar. Okay. So it kind of has that like Le Beau Paradise Garden smell from last year where you kind of get that fruitiness, you get that green touch, but then that Le Beau DNA just sitting. If anything, it's kind of like Le Beau Paradise Garden if you amped up the Le Beau DNA, because I can still smell the coconut, I can still smell the green tones and the fruitiness, and so it does still have that, but then it has this kind of like powdery violet mixed in. The opening's very fruity. I was not expecting this. Based on like Le Beau flower, I was expecting it to be very floral. I was not expecting it to be sweet, green, clean. It's not like super clean. It's more on the sweet side though. Like, it's a lot sweeter than I was expecting going into Le Beau flower. But I should have known because every other Le Beau is sweet. It's drastically changing now. You can tell there's like definitely a floral tone to it, but it's not like the kind of floral tone that I was expecting going in. Like some kind of heavy, I didn't look at the note breakdown, but I was expecting some kind of like heavy white floral or something like that. Because like when they did Le Male Pride Edition and they had florals, it was almost all white floral. And so I couldn't deal with that. It was just way too much white floral. This one seems like it's a smooth but powdery violet, and it's a sweeter violet for sure, which is just adding to that sweetness. So there's definitely some kind of fruitiness in the opening. But again, just to simplify for you guys, it smells like Le Beau Paradise Garden if you just amped up that kind of Le Beau-ish DNA that was kind of bogged down in Paradise Garden, like that coconut tonka bean. You just amp that up, still have the green and fruitiness from Paradise Garden, and then you add this kind of powdery floral, which again is changing. That sweetness is even, and the sweetness and the fruitiness are starting to dissipate. I mean, it's going to be still a very sweet fragrance. It's just you can see that violet and that little bit of tonka bean that's in there. The powderiness is definitely taking more full effect to the fragrance. So yeah, obviously this is my first impression. So what I do is I come back and I let you know after about an hour what I think of it. And I'm going to do that in a second. But basically the opening few minutes of this fragrance smells like a Le Beau fragrance mixed together with a little bit more tonka and a little bit more of this kind of like powdery sweet violet. It doesn't do anything for me. Honestly, it actually makes me feel like it's a little bit more of like a synthetic Le Beau. There's definitely some more synthetic tones, which I know, Pete, there's always that one person that goes, oh, most fragrances are synthetics. I understand that, but there's a difference between having synthetics and smelling synthetic. And with this one, it definitely has more of a synthetic smell to it. Not noticeable. It still smells nice. It still smells nice, but this isn't going to get anybody's panties in an uproar. I can tell you that. But what I'm going to do is, obviously, I'm going to give it an hour, and then I'm going to come back and let you guys know a little feel of the dry down, if it's changed, anything like that. So I will be right back. All right, my great smelling dudes, we are back with the dry down of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Flower Edition. And how do I feel about it? So again, the opening, it's not going to make anybody just want to jump out of their seat and go buy this. It's, out of all the Le Beaus, it's the least attractive one as far as the smell. It still smells nice, and if you like the Le Beau line, you're probably still going to like this. For me personally, when it comes to the Le Beau line, I actually thought I was a huge fan of it because I love the EDT. The EDT is still my favorite to this day. They came out with a Le Parfum, and while I think that is the best opening in the line, the dry down had this earthiness to it that just kind of left me wanting. Paradise Garden was my least favorite. I know a lot of people like that, but I got a lot of sweetness that I did not want in that DNA, even though they're all sweet. It's just there was some kind of sweetness in that I just didn't want. And then this one still has that, which might be why I don't love it. I haven't seen anybody talk about this fragrance yet, so I'm not sure how other people are feeling. But again, it starts out with like a little bit of the EDT amped up, mixed together with Paradise Garden, and then you have this kind of powdery tonka and a little bit of a sweet floral. It smells like violet. I'm guessing it's violet. It's a sweet and powdery floral. And then you mix that together. Once you get about 15 to 20 minutes into the dry down, it's almost like you take one side of it is that sweet and powdery floral and tonka, and the other side is that Le Beau DNA, the Le Beau Paradise Garden, and EDT mixed together. And then you have, this is the beginning, and then it kind of switches places. That is where you get that floral tone, a little bit more tonka, little bit more tonka, and a lot of bit of tonka. And it just kind of like, the tonka just builds and builds, the floral builds and builds, and then it kind of like reminds me of almost like a mix between a Le Beau and a Le Male, because of how much tonka really is residing in the fragrance in the dry down. But that opening sweetness, that sweet fruity green tone that you get from Paradise Garden is all but washed off the board. You still get the original Le Beau DNA, so you still get a little touch of coconut, which the coconut is, out of all of the Le Beaus, the coconut is the least noticeable in this fragrance. So if you're not a big fan of coconut, you might be okay with this one, just because it is downplayed. But when it comes to Le Beau flower, just the name in general, I was expecting more freshness. I was expecting more florals. I was expecting more just clean, fresh, floral fragrance. That's not what you get here. This is a bunch of sweetness. From the opening sweetness being fruity and green to the dry down sweetness being a lot of tonka. It's a Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance, make no mind about that. But the floral here is subdued. It's almost as subdued as what you get with the coconut, except for you can notice this powdery sweet violet. I would give this fragrance, out of all, it's my least favorite Le Beau. It's on par with Paradise Garden. You could flip-flop them. I wouldn't care. It smells nice. It smells nice. If you like Le Beau, you're going to like this. But the opening, sweet green fruity, dry down, powdery floral, sweet tonka. That's what it smells like, but it's not like overly floral. It's a very kind of sweet, subdued floral mixed together with tonka, maybe a little bit of woods, and then some musk just surrounding the whole fragrance. Just like most Jean Paul Gaultiers, you have this kind of ambery overtone. It's a little bit fresher than the other ones, but not noticeably. So if you were looking for something different, you're not really getting it here. It's okay. It's just okay. It smells very heavily synthesized. I know again I'm gonna have people coming at me for that, but I don't care. All of the Le Beau smell synthetic. This one smells more so. So I would give that fragrance a 6.5. It does nothing for me. I'm really happy I didn't get a bottle of it. It still smells nice. It's a wearable fragrance. It's just, to me, the Le Beau line is going in the opposite direction of what I wanted it to, which I know a lot of people love Paradise Garden. I know they love the Le Parfum, and that's just the way that you do. And I liked all of them. I think all of them smell nice. I think out of all of them, the most wearable is the EDT. It seems like they're getting more synthetic and more sweet when I wanted them to go the other route. I wanted them to get more fresh and more clean with the Le Beau DNA riding underneath it. That's just my opinion, though. But let me know what you guys think. I will do a full review on this once I run through this whole decant. It's going to be hard for me to run through it because I don't really like it that much. But, hey, I mean, however much time it takes, even if it takes until spring, whatever. So, yeah, that is my opinions on it. I think it smells nice. It's nothing new. So thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.